Live from Dark PC Studios in Eddyville, Kentucky. It's time for a brand new podcast. This time we are talking about Survivor. It has been 40 seasons, 20 years of Survivor. With no Survivor due to COVID-19 outbreak, Dark PC starts a command attack by rewatching all 40 seasons and evaluating the evolution of Survivor gameplay. Let's begin with the season that started it all. Survivor Borneo. Your host. Alright, hello Easy Nation. Welcome to another episode of welcome to the first episode of Survivor Evolution of Survivor gameplay. So Survivor, it's not a unknown secret that Survivor is one of my favorite. It's my favorite reality TV shows of all time. I love Survivor. It's just one of those shows I've watched since I was a young kid, and I've kept watching it. And you know, it may not be. Some people say like, "Oh, it's not as good as it used to be." It's not. That's not a question. But I do think the show it's still good. And you know, the COVID-19 sucks. It really does, because everything's been canceled this year. Sports was canceled. I missed out on March Madness. I missed out on a lot of movies that were supposed to come out this year, and all those got canceled. So I've been on the lost scene with and another thing that COVID-19 got canceled Survivor, the fall season Survivor, the 41st season, and I thought this was a good opportunity to go back and watch the first 40 seasons of Survivor. Who knows how far I'll make it, but I've been wanting to do this for a long time, go back and watch all the seasons of Survivor, and kind of just, watch it and watch how the gameplay has evolved from these guys on an island to voting out the people you don't like to now voting out to people you vote out in season 40. So I think it's going to be a very interesting process going back and watching this entire series again. And this is why I like to call chapter 1. There's 40 chapters in the book so far. And like I said, this is called The Evolution of Survivor Gameplay. This is chapter 1, Survivor Borneo, the birthing of alliances, and some other things. I haven't really come up with a title yet, but whatever it is, I will talk about it now. So, let's sit back, relax, enjoy your Survivor talk, and if you don't like Survivor, I don't know why you're watching this. So, alright, let's begin with Survivor Borneo. So, Survivor Borneo, it came out 20 years ago, and that's crazy. 2000, very long time ago. I don't remember the 2000s. 2000, yeah, just barely. So, like I said, the first season of Survivor, it interested this very interesting prospect. You put 16 people on this little small island, separate them by tribes, and it's a social experiment. 16 people who do not know each other, who have to live together, survive together, win challenges together, and then eventually vote each other out until there's only one remaining. And what I love about this show, and it's been ever since the beginning of the show, is this is social experiments. But the tribes are divided up pretty evenly, you would think. And the tribes go back and forth. When we get to the merge, there was 10 people, 5 people from each tribe, and I'll get to back that to in a little minute. But I want to first go into Richard Hatch. Richard Hatch, otherwise known as the first winner of Survivor, and one of the people who is really one of the people I like to call the founding fathers of Survivor. He created a system where people would emulate for years to come. You look at his villainy, to his observations, to the way he understands social cues, and other things like him being a provider. There are so many things that Richard Hatch created in this first season that he is the godfather, or like I said, one of the founding fathers of Survivor strategy. So, like, one of the first things, like, you just see how cocky he is. You see he's in that tree. He's just looking at his competition. And you're just like, this guy is really full of it, isn't he? And, like, even in the first episode, he says, I've already won. The $1 million check's already made out to me. I mean, how cocky is that? And as you see him going along, you see in the first episode, he builds that relationship with Rudy. Two people you would never expect to to be together. Rudy, this a military man, very straight and narrow, who doesn't believe in all these ideas. Richard Hatch, a fat gay man, who these two have to come together, and it was the first. It's truly the first alliance in Survivor history. And I mean, then we get through these first three. We get to these first 6 votes, and each vote is very interesting. So, like, the first vote is they vote out the girl Sonia. Sonia, weakest member, oldest member. So, really, that's an easy vote for the tribe. The next vote is a guy, BB. Basically, BB falls into that situation where he worked his people to death, and people didn't like him. He was old. He was kind of the weakest person, but I mean, he got that tribe going, building the shelter and building everything, taking charge. But being the leader and yelling at people to do things a certain way makes people not want to work with you at all. So, it's very interesting watching him in this, him getting voted out too. And then as the show goes along, we keep seeing like the Tagi tribe, they get the fishing gear, which really enhances Richard Hatch's strategy as he is now the provider. He can go out and catch fish. Other people can't catch fish. They've been trying. So you take him out of this game, you're all going to starve. So it makes him more. And it's a strategy that we've seen, like I said, a founding father of Survivor gameplay. Very interesting to watch him do all that. Not much to talk about in this vote. Then the next episode, we're seeing the birth of the alliance. The first Survivor alliance to ever form. And that's the alliance of Rudy, Sue Hawk, Kelly Wigglesworth, and Richard Hatch. And the 4 created this voting alliance, where they're all going to commit to each other, vote together, and that's how they're going to do it. And then you have this other tribe. And then we have to... I don't want to get to that before we do it. The other tribe, they're more younger. They're more like, oh, we're playing it vote to vote. We're having fun and all this. Maybe a lot of the reason why this tribe did not work out well was because they were too arrogant, maybe too young, didn't take it as seriously as the other tribe. And like the one guy, Joe, who was kind of in the guy's thinking, it's like, we have to come together. We have to be able to vote these people out in order for us to win. People probably thought he was just thinking too much, strategy-wise, so they got rid of Joe, and bam, we're getting to the merge. But then also in episode 5, we're seeing the voting alliance finally come together and getting rid of Dirk. And now we go into the merge 5-5. Now, interestingly, this is the first merge episode. This is the very first Survivor merge. So it's interesting seeing these 2 tribes come together. And the first merge episode is significant, not just for its Survivor moments, but it's also known as the first blindside. Because everyone on the Pagan tribe is out for themselves, basically. They're like, all right, all the chips are down. We're playing for ourselves. Let's go see what happens. But while the Pagan tribe and Sean are all playing a different strategy, the Tagi 4 have a strategy. They want to take out Greg. They think he's too smart, he's too strong in the challenges, and he's a little psychotic. But he wins the immunity. So who's the person we go after next? They're like, let's go after Gretchen because she really doesn't want. She's a leader. She can rally these people together. You got to take out these people that are going to be able to rally these people. So they get rid of Gretchen, and it was a blindside. And she's like, "It's me! Holy crap, it's me!" And she goes home. And then you also see in this. We see this one guy, Sean, who's kind of basically being a floater, if I'm going to use a Big Brother term. And he's basically floating along from vote to vote to vote, but he's using the strategy he's known as the alphabetical strategy, where he's voting people out per the alphabets. So the first person he votes for is Colleen, then he goes Greg, and then eventually he gets Jenna, which actually helps out the Tagi 3, now that Kelly kind of walks away from that alliance. And like I said, the founding father of Richard Hatch's strategy to build this 4-person alliance, the alliance of these people who stick together, who are going to watch each other's back to get to a certain point of this game. That's one of the things that would be copied in every season of Survivor, can originate from that original alliance of them 4. And then we have the character of Kelly Wigglesworth, who she's part of this alliance, but she doesn't really like what she's been doing. She starts to grow, I guess you could say she grows a conscience, but she just basically hates the people she's playing with and wants to be more of a free agent. And they try to take her out of this game. But what does Kelly Wigglesworth do is she's the first person to ever win her way to the final 2. And she wins 5 competitions, 4 of them which are immunity, 1 is a reward challenge. So she wins herself to the final 2. And there are so many things to dissect in these episodes. Like the moment when she leaves that alliance and she kind of joins up with Colleen, Jervis, and she kind of wants to get rid of Sean. And the Tagi 3 are kind of left like, well, we have to try to get rid of someone. Well, everyone knows Jenna is the next person on Sean's list, so they manipulate Sean to get rid of Jenna. He is devastated by it, and he completely throws out that strategy. And so the final 4, we see the final 4. Sue Hawk goes home. So now it's down to the final 3 between Rudy, Richard, and Kelly. And you have the challenge where Richard's sitting there for 2 hours knowing, I'm not going to be able to beat either Rudy or Kelly. If whoever wins, Rudy, he is a man of honor. He is going to take me to the final 2 no matter what if he wins. Kelly, she can't beat Rudy. Rudy's a military man. Everyone respects and loves Rudy for who he is. So everyone knows no one's going to vote for him. So Richard knows he's going to logically speaking, he is going to final 2. So why do I need to sit here any longer and play this competition? He doesn't. And he wins, and Kelly wins, takes Richard to the final 2. And I mean, it's such a genius move by Richard Hatch, knowing the politics of the game. And this is why I keep going back to, I know I've said it about 100 times this episode, but he is one of the founders of the Survivor gameplay. I mean, to think that on that kind of mental level where these people are going to have to vote with me, they're going to have to take me to the finals if they want a chance, because I'm the villain. I'm the bad guy. And there are so many cool moments in the final moments where Kelly kind of says like, oh, I just want y'all to vote for the person I am, blah, blah, blah. But then you see Richard Hatch going like, he's like, no, I'm the snake. I want to be voted on my gameplay because I played this game to the death. And if you vote for her to win, that's fine. And that's the thing about this final 2, where there are some where I believe there are some Survivor games where the right person probably did not win. And I will get into that as this podcast goes along. But I don't think if Kelly wins, I still think she's a worthy winner because she won herself to the finals. That's a hard thing to do on its own. And I love the challenge. I love the simplicity of the original Survivor challenges. But yeah, he wins. Richard Hatch wins 4-3. And the Sue Hawk speech, I think we should be as Mother Nature intended it for the snake, who is Richard, and to eat the rat. And bam, that's the first episode. That is the first chapter of the Survivor podcast show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is gonna be a very fun podcast to talk about as the weeks and months come along as I continue doing this podcast. I hope y'all like it, guys. Also, make sure you subscribe to the Darth Easy Podcast Network. There's a bunch of shows you can check out: the Darth Easy Movie Review Show, the Darth Easy Game Corner. There are so many podcasts I've been doing lately. And also make sure you check out the original Darth Easy YouTube channel. If you just want movie reviews and TV reviews, check out that channel as well. I highly recommend it. I'm not biased or anything. So guys, until next week, I hope y'all until next time, have a good day and stay safe out there, everybody. And until next time, all too easy.